Hello YouTube, this is Kron to give you another look at MoP class changes. Right now I'm going to be giving you the warrior look. Not much has honestly changed for the warrior, but again, along with many other classes, the big change is in the talents. First of all, I'm going to look at my favorite warrior of all, the arms. Absolutely, I love it. Destroy, bleed, everything. Except there's one problem. You arms warriors are probably not going to like this. I personally don't like this. I don't have trauma anymore. Or at least I haven't seen it proc or anything. So I honestly don't think it exists. And also, by the way, they've completely removed rend. There's no longer rend. What they do have though is something called deep wounds. Your mortal strike, bloodthirst, and devastate have a cause the target to bleed over time. So once you use like your main spell that you would use for your, of course, your spec, then it adds it. Same with Blood and Thunder. Blood and Thunder, of course, as you guys know, is a tank one. It's at the top one at the moment for Kata, and we just spread rend. No longer do you have to put rend on it, you just use Blood and Thunder and it puts deep wounds. I know deep wounds already existed for arms, but I'm sorry, you guys are going to be out one bleed. At least deep wounds, it doesn't proc anymore from just having major critical strikes. First things first is the new spells. Let's see. As an arms warrior, I still get recklessness. I still get slam, sweeping strikes. Yeah, I know you see spell reflection there. I can use them for some reason, but it requires a shield, so it's guaranteed that you're probably not going to use it. As you see, and also if you see throw there, throwing weapons and ranged weapons have been removed from the game. So, or at least not completely removed from the game, but to where no one else can use them, except for hunters, of course. I also have taunt too. I don't know why. Of course, I have Thunderclap, Blaze-Stone, the Blood and Thunder, and now you see I have Whirlwind. The reason because of that is if you look in the talents, Bladestorm. You can either choose at level 60 between Bladestorm, Shockwave, and Dragon Roar. And since it's going to be that, and if you want to choose something else, you still at least get a decent area-wide attack, which is Whirlwind. Even at arms, it's not going to be strictly Fear anymore. As you can see, I have the basic passives that you already know about Cat. I have Taste for Blood, Sudden Death, Deep Wounds, and then these three new abilities. Not much has been added for the warrior, except all of them get this. It's called the banners. It works like a totem for a shaman, except what you're going to do is you're going to put down a banner. The demoralizing banner decreases the damage dealt by all enemies within 30 yards. It's almost like demoralizing roar. Mocking banner throws down, forces all enemies within 5 yards to attack the warrior that says it down, almost like challenging roar or staggering roar, I think they call it now. And there's skull banner. Increases the critical damage of the party or raid within 30 yards by 20%, which is going to be amazing. Skull banner is 10%, demoralizing roar lasts for 15 seconds, and mocking banner lasts for 30 seconds. Mocking banner is going to be for those of you who are just having a really bad problem with keeping aggro. I wouldn't, of course, advise using it just out of nowhere, because of course it has a 3-minute cooldown. All these do. And they might actually share a cooldown. I'm not quite sure. Of course, I'm not level 87, and they won't let me level past 87. But Skull Banner will definitely be good for a time that you guys just need to start just bursting on the boss, or in PvP or in general. Alright, looking at things that I thought would be best for arms in the talent tree. Now, I love arms PvP. I like to PvE with it too, but I like PvP even more. If you look at the top, it's charges for level 15. It's alright, but I mean, not many. I mean, charge is nice to have, but some of these honestly are meant for kind of like PvP more. And of course most people have 15 no PvP more. Again, I do wish that they would kind of mix these around to make them make sense, like level 30 is based on healing. They should have that at level 15. But number one is double time. Double time is big for arms because arms is always relied on freaking charge. And see, basically what happens is double time is basically what the name holds. I can charge this guy. If I stop lagging, there we go. I can charge this guy. Just imagine he just died. Now I want to go charge that guy, but guess what? My charge is on cooldown. No, it isn't. I can use it again. Basically, what happens if my internet will stop having so much latency? Like there we go. It basically doesn't start going on its cooldown until after I use both charges, and then based on it, but the charges, it has two charges. Each charge is going to be based on the cooldown, 20 seconds. So you see I just went to 0, now it's at 1, and now it's, if you can see that, it has a little yellow cursor going up, or yellow clock thing, and now I'm at 2 charges. It's very, very nice, especially for PvP. I can have 2 charges at once. It's probably the best thing ever since for PvP. I'm no matter what going to be keeping this. Another thing that I thought was good for arms is, especially when doing PvP, is impending victory. Instantly attack a target causing damage and healing you for 10% of your maximum health. Sounds like Victory Rush, even replaced Victory Rush. But the cool thing about it is it doesn't require you to have an honor kill. And after using it, I think if you use it in a specific amount of time, then it actually does what Victory Rush does. Because if you look at Victory Rush, impending victory only gives 10%, and Victory Rush gives 20%. But if you read down here, it will then give me 30% because I got a honor, because I got an honor or experience before that. So it works like Victory Rush, but even better if you don't have one. Now, these ones aren't, I mean, Disrupting Shout, I mean, honestly, level 45 and 75 is based on your preference, but level 60, right now, I'm just going to tell you, no matter what, I'm not just for Arms Warrior. Whirlwind sounds nice. I mean, it's very fun to use. Shockwave is also nice to use. I mean, it's a cone-based stun that does some pretty impressive damage. But Dragon Roar, I have to say, wins the bet. I mean, it does a massive amount of damage. It knocks them back and stuns them for 30 seconds, and no matter what, it's a critical strike and ignores all the armor on the target. I did PvP on the PTR with this. I was easily doing 40k to 50k crits with this, no problem. And that's almost about half of a level 85's health, or a third of it. This is probably the most OP ability right now, and I can guarantee you a lot of people are going to be spamming this as a warrior. I mean, and it also only has a 1-minute cooldown. I do agree that it is a little overpowered for warriors. Call me out, warriors. I know warrior isn't one of my favorite classes, but I do understand when things are a little OP. Again, things are about the same. You still have Retaliation. You got Deadly Calm. Deadly Calm has changed. It has officially changed. It no longer says, oh, you can have no rage cost for all of your things. No, they nerfed it. The cost of your next 3 heroic strikes or cleave attacks cost 10 rage. So they realized that that was a little overpowered, and they took care of that. But then they also decided to buff up recklessness. And, special attacks give an additional 50% to critically strike, and it no longer makes you take extra damage. So it can actually be used for PvP without having to get the glyph. And it looks like that is about it for arms, so let's move over to the tank. Okay, I don't even have a set made. Oh well, I'll just put on a shield and things should be okay. Sword, shield, there we go. I don't know why they gave me throwing weapons in here, if you can see, and then removed them from the game. I don't know, Blizzard's just lazy. I love you, Blizzard. But yeah, this is how tanking is going to work from now on. It's the same in a way, but of course the talent tree changes things. I got Juggernaut, and you know, you think about charge. Pally, a warrior tank can't use charge. He either has to use intercept or heroic leap. That is incorrect. I believe they have moved intercept from the game, and now there's only charge. Even tanks can use charge now. So based on my own preference, I actually think this is a smart preference. I got the one that decreases my charge, or the cooldown on my charge, so I can use it more often in case if I need to charge to something I lost aggro of. And I know this sounds a little bit weird, but I did use Blade Storm. I just thought it would be interesting to have Blade Storm as a tank, and actually it has helped me out a bit. It grabs aggro very well when I'm starting to lose aggro on big mobs. But moving on to other things. The abilities have stayed the same, except for Shield Block. Shield Block no longer has a cooldown. It has 2 charges, but it now costs 60 rage. And for each recharges 9 seconds. I mean, it's still good to use. It just costs quite a bit of rage. You're just gonna have to keep that in mind. They also brought up a new spell. It's called Shield Barrier. Raises your shield, absorbing 6,000 damage for the next 6 seconds. It's almost like you get your own bubble now, which is very nice. I mean, all the other tanks get a sort of like bubble or something like that. Why don't we get it? You still have Intervene. And wait, and yeah, I got Staggering Shot, of course, because of course I want to have complete aggro. But that's about it. I guess actually no, level 75 is probably what you want to pay attention to the most, because it's based on shield, sword stuff, or tanking stuff. You can either get Vigilance, Safeguard, which removing all impairing movements upon you, interrupting the next melee ranged made against one of your party members, reducing their damage taken by 20%, or Mass Spell Reflection. Basically, you know how an Unholy DK has, or had, I don't know if they still do, the anti-magic bubble, like the giant one. Basically, you almost do the same thing, except it's Spell Reflex, which is nice. I would love to have that, but I thought that Vigilance would be better, because as much as I would love to have that, sometimes I honestly have a problem keeping aggro. I'm still a tank in training, so I'm keeping Vigilance at the moment. Now, Fury Warriors. I, of course, can only have 2 specs, so I do not have Fury Warrior up here, but I went through it, and I played Fury Warrior a couple times, and it's kind of weird. It's almost like combining an Arms Warrior and a Fury Warrior. You still have the exact same concept as a Fury Warrior, except you have a little bit of other things. Like one spell in here, it's called Die by the Sword. I forgot to mention that, but it's also in Arms. It's amazing for PvP. Increases your parrying chance by 100% and reduces damage taken by 20% for 8 seconds, which is just like, you know, when you're about to die, healer's on his way, not there yet, use it. It helps you out. Since I of course do PvP, it's also for Fury. I mean, you also get Deadly Calm for Fury. You get charged, and as I said, no more intercept. Same spells. Honestly, no new spells except for one. I don't recognize this one spell. Or is it? There we go. Wild Strike. A quick strike with your offhand weapon that deals weapon damage plus and causes mortal wounds on the target. I don't know if you guys have that. It does basically the same thing as Mortal Strike, which decreases the healing done to a character. But if you don't, then that's something new, because I don't recall that. Yeah, so it looks like everything's new. You have a little bit of arms spells, and also one thing I do like about it, I know how our Fury Warriors just hated having to respec if they wanted to go single-minded Fury or Titan's Grip. No, you can do it no matter what. It's passive now, and so if you just wanted to switch to one-handed weapons, just all of a sudden you can do it without spending any money. Same with Titan's Grip. I mean, if you want to have two two-handed swords in each hand, you can go to it right away. No problem. Now, last but not least, we're going to talk about the glyphs. Glyphs or warriors are a lot more impressive than especially the shaman or any other ones I have. They have so many, and it looks nice. I mean, they've added a couple new ones, I believe. Where is one? I think it is right. Bull Rush. I know Bull Rush is new. The charge generates 15 additional rage, which would be nice, especially if you were doing PvE with one of them. Charge stuns an additional 2 nearby targets. I know that was an arms thing in the talent tree, but now it is a glyph, so if you want that, you're going to have to spec into it, which I did because I love that. The minor glyphs are actually pretty cool too. I honestly like it. Thunderstrike, Thunderclap, every time I use it, just lightning comes down. Blazing Trail, I don't have a glyph, but when you charge, it leaves a fire trail behind. I'm no matter what getting that when it comes out. Gushing Wound, deep wounds are even bloodier than normal, just like blood literally starts splurting out from the person. Burning Anger, whenever you become enraged, you just start catching on fire. I like the mind glyphs. Mind glyphs are always going to be fun looking glyphs, and some of them are actually pretty useful. I remember Rylus said something about he had a minor glyph saying it was called Nightmare for his horse, which allowed him to walk on water, which is useful. I mean, I honestly don't think it's much of a fun glyph. I mean, it's fun, but just very useful. I mean, some of these aren't really useful. They're just visual effects. But again, alright, well that was that for the warrior. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, like and subscribe, and if I said anything wrong, or maybe you disagree with something I said, comment as well. And as I said, and also, as I said in the other video, my mic, it's not the best. If you want me to get a better mic, subscribe, start watching, and tell your friends about us, get us more viewers. I can get a better mic. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.